Hi everybody, and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make my Alchemy bracelet. This was designed by me, and I will have my Instagram name in the description box below if you would like to check that out. Yeah, so that's all I really have to say. Normally I would fill this time with, showing you who created this on Instagram or just like telling you a little bit about them, but since I created this, I'm not going to do as much talking about that. But I am going to show you how to make this today. This is a 5-pin design, and it will take 10 pins if you want a full wrap. I only used 5 of these sections here because that's what fits my wrist, but you might need 6 or 7 if your wrist is like a little bit larger. My wrist is like really small anyway, but this is really fun to make, and if you don't have 4 looms, you can always use an extension. Extensions don't look bad at all. It would just be just like these 3 here. So anyway, I'm going to tell you what you're going to need today. You're going to need a set, I guess, of 5 bar pins in this configuration. You're going to need a hook, a C-clip, and 4 or 5 colors of bands. In this one, I used 5 to pattern around the edges, but in this one, I used 4. Today, I will be using 4 colors, and I will tell you the colors as I go along with the bracelet. I was going to try and stand this up. Never mind. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by placing the border bands first. Here is this tricolor bands, and in here it's royal purple. Or actually, I only used 4 colors in this one too. Sorry, I did use 4 colors. Anyway, I used 4 colors in them both, just in different spots. Anyway, for the border, I will be using black. So all you're going to do is, if you're going to pull this off an extension or anything, just put your bands here. I usually do it during the end, so I'm going to do that during the end. I'm going to go to the outside twice, and this outside twice, and then you're just going to go straight up 2 times, and then to the inside 2 times, and then again on the right side, go straight up 2 times, and then go to the inside 2 times. And that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your loom. So again, starting from here, you're going to go out to the left twice. And this band is about to break. 1 second. Yep. That would have been bad. Okay. Band's getting stuck in my loom. So you're going to go out to the left twice, and then out to the right twice. Push your bands down, go straight up twice, and then you're going to go into the center twice. So if you are only doing 1 loom long like I am for this tutorial, you will just do this 1 more time. However, if you have multiple loom lengths long, I guess, you're going to obviously do this as many times as you feel like you need to. These barely fit my wrist the way they are, like they're almost too small. But I do like to wear my bracelets a little bit tight, as long as they're not like super duper stressed out. But anyway, just, I guess so you have some reference, my wrist is kind of small, and those are almost too small. But anyway, once you finish that, there's my broken band, you're going to come back to the beginning of your loom, and we're now going to be placing our next bands. In here, it is the lime green jelly, right here, and in here it's a bit harder to see, it's the clear. So, sorry, I'm going to use neon pink for this. This neon pink is from Michaels. Actually, I think everything here I got from Michaels, but you can get everything except the neon pink on rainbowloom.com. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the second step. So take your first band, and from the center peg, just go straight forward, and then you're going to go out to the left, out to the right, just like that. It's a Y shape here. You're going to go straight up. Now it's like a boomerang, maybe? I don't know. And then you're going to go in. So you're just creating a smaller hexagon inside of the bigger hexagon after you place that. And then you're going to be placing another band straight forward to connect it to both of these ends. And you're going to then go straight forward again, and go out, up, and into the center. Again on this side, out. Try to make sure they're not twisted. Go up, and then into the center. And then just to finish it, go straight forward again, and you're going to do this one more time. Like I said, I'm going to do this one more time, I guess. So you do it as many more times as you need to, and you can pause the video or come back once you've finished. But I'm going to just place that one straight forward. And now you're finished with that. Come back to the beginning of your loom. We are now going to place our third band, which in here is the white, and in here I had a pattern of neon green and dark green, which I don't like the pattern very much, but it's up to you. I'm going to be using just gray for this. I'm not going to use any patterns. So what we're going to do is you're going to take your first band, and you're going to start up at this peg here, these two here, and you're going to pull it up across these both, and then pull it into a triangle off to the left, just like that. Make sure that you are starting up here. Then go from this peg, and you want 2 points on the sides, just like that. So you can see this has 2 points on the side, and this has 2 points on the side. Now it's going to get a little confusing. You want 2 points on the side, but you also want them both, you want to have 2 bands on this peg. So you're going to go to the outside, and then you're going to put it right in here. So this will be overlapping. And then you're going to do this again. You want the 2 outside pins in this center here. So again, placing a triangle. And then that's going to overlap again because we want to place another one here. So placing it around those 2 outside, pulling it into the center. And your last one, you will want it to be here, and then with these 2 pins as well. So once you've gone from top all the way down to bottom, we're going to repeat this on the right side. So take your band, and you're going to overlap this one again with these 2, and then go out to here. And then you're going to go from here across these 2. And then from here across these 2. Here across these 2. And then this one's going to overlap again and go on the next 2. And this one is going to go around the bottom 2, again overlapping here. So that's what we have for triangles for our first one. I'm going to go ahead and do my second one. And I will instruct you one more time because it can get a bit confusing, but then I'm going to do the third one just kind of on my own. So taking that triangle, remember you're starting at the top and you're going out to here. Try to get them untwisted. And I just dropped a band. Okay. Then you're going to go around here. So you always want to have an extra, like a new band on your border. So this one here that's overlapping here, and then you want these 2. So this is a new one, I guess. I hope I'm not confusing. So now you have this one that's overlapping and this one that's going to be new. So once you know that, you're going to just naturally pull it down to that peg. And then here you're going to want, you have this one that's overlapping, and then this is a new one. So going around and putting it here. And then again these 2 in the center. And these 2 in the center. I'm going to go ahead and do this on the other side. You're just doing a mirror image on the other side. And going around these pegs. I feel like this one's too thin. It's very flimsy. Okay, so once you finish that, you're going to continue doing your next one, and I'm going to go ahead and do that one real quick. Remember to be pushing your bands down and untwisting them if you can. It's a lot more difficult to untwist the triangle bands than it is the inside bands. Also, I wouldn't really recommend using dual layer bands. I probably should have said that before. But don't use like dual layer LE bands, limited edition bands for the triangle part. Anywhere else would be fine. It's just this part gets a bit stretched, so I don't want your bands to break. That one too is really flimsy. A lot of my gray bands recently have been so thin and flimsy. I don't understand why. But anyway, once you finish that, come back to the beginning of your loom. Of course, if you need to pause the video or rewind or anything like that, go ahead and do that now. I'm going to be laying my last set of bands, and then we're going to go ahead and start looping. So I'm going to be using white for this part. It is going to be the inside here, which is this, in this bracelet, it's limited edition purple, and in this bracelet, it is the neon green, so it's a starburst in the center. And what you're going to do is just lay a starburst, so starting from the center peg, going out to the 2 o'clock in the middle of this little hexagon here, and then going down to the 4, the 6, the 8, the 10, and the 12. And just so I won't forget, I'm going to cap it now, but you're going to triple cap it. So I like to pull mine on my hook and triple cap. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull that over. And then I'm going to do this 2 more times. So it's just like laying a normal starburst. It doesn't really matter where you start or end for the starburst part, but for the other parts it does. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue laying my starburst. Hopefully you know how to make a starburst, or you can just quickly follow along. And I'm going to go ahead and place my cap band again. Remember, you're triple capping that for the best look. It can get a little bit difficult to slide them over the pins, but I think the look is really worth it. It's a lot cleaner and it looks tighter. So, just my preference. And then I will go ahead and put these bands back away. And then I'm going to cap this last one in the center. And then what you're going to do is, we're not going to place a cap band here yet at this end. We're going to place that after we finish looping most of the bracelets. So go ahead and turn your loom around, make sure that the arrows are pointing towards you. My bracelet's in the way, as always. I'm going to go ahead and put them over there. And we're going to go ahead and start the looping process. So first we're going to be looping the starburst. You're going to go ahead and go underneath of this cap band, the triple cap. Push it back. Grab that top band. Should be coming straight back towards itself. Then you're going to go inside, grab the next band, pull it out to itself. Grab the next band, pull it out to itself. And grab this band and pull it straight up. Again, diagonally out to itself and down to itself. So you're going to go and do that for all of your centers of your starburst. So I'm going to go ahead and come to the next one. I'm going to loop this one out pretty quick. It's just grabbing the top band, pulling it back to itself. And I also want to make sure that my bands are not twisted. In this bracelet, you loop each, I guess, part by layer. So it's the top layer, then the next layer, then so on and so forth. And if your cap band happens to do that like mine just did, I have to take mine off and fix this again because it won't work. You may have to also hold your cap band down. Okay, and then go ahead and push down these bands. Come back to the beginning of your loom. Now we're going to be looping these triangle bands. It can get a little tricky to loop these triangle bands, so do make sure to pay attention closely so you don't get lost. We're going to start by going underneath of this bottom one, and you're going to grab the band that is on top. So this band here, when you look at this peg, is on top. And so it travels over here, so we want to grab this band. Go underneath of here. I'm going to go ahead and grab this band. I'm going to pull it out around the bottom pin, around the top pin. So that's why I say don't use like limited edition, because it would be extremely hard to do this without your bands breaking. At least for me, that's what it seems. So yeah. Okay, so then go under here, again, grab your other gray band, pull it out to itself, and make sure that you pull it around both pegs. Then you're going to go up to here, and you might notice that this gray band here, rather than here, is on the top. So you're just going to grab the top band, pull it back to itself, and straight up. Then go under here, grab the other gray band, pull it to both of its own pegs. So don't get confused, you're just grabbing the top band and pulling it to itself. It shouldn't be too confusing. So the same thing happens here when there's two overlapping pins. You're just going to go in and grab that top one, and then pull it to itself over both pins, and then go in here, grab the other one, and pull it over both pins. Then lastly, you're going to go ahead and grab this one. You're going to pull it to itself, and then we have to leave this one for when we loop the other side. So going underneath here, and you're going to make sure that you grab this top band right here, and you're going to pull that out and around itself. So you're skipping this here for now, and then you come back in, grab that triangle, and loop it out. Then go up here, again grabbing that top band. It'll go here and here, so it'll skip this one. But then you go back in, grab that, and pull it over just like that. Then, lastly, sorry, my voice is really scratchy, pull it over its own two pegs. So it should look like this. It kind of looks like a snowflake here. So just push down these bands so you have room. And I'm going to go on to the next peg. So again, grabbing the band that is on the top and pulling it back towards itself. Pull the other band back towards itself. And pull the top band to itself. And the top band to itself. And you're just going to do this all the way down until you reach the end of your loom. When you finish all of your little sections, your circle sections. And I'm going to continue doing the rest in silence. If you still need help, feel free to rewind the video and replay my instructions. I hope they were clear enough. You're just grabbing the top band and looping the triangles back to themselves, whichever band is on top. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So I am going to continue the rest of this, and I guess I will talk again, or see you again when I reach the end of my loom. But I'm not going to skip anything, so don't, I guess, pause and then have everything be still behind. Alright, once you finish that, go ahead and make sure that you definitely push down your triangle bands because they tend to pop off, and definitely make sure to push down these center ones too. We're going to come back to the beginning, and we're now going to place a capping band. So I'm going to just use my black, my border color, and place, oops, that didn't work. Place a capping band on the end, And now we're going to start our next looping sequence. So we're going to be looping the neon pink bands now. It's a very simple looping step, probably one of the more simple ones. So just go underneath of the cap band, underneath of the gray bands, grab that neon pink band whenever you see it, pull it straight forward, so it looks like that. Then you're going to go inside here, grab the top band, pull it out to itself, grab this top band, and pull it out to itself. There should only be 2 bands in there. Then pull straight forward and straight in. Again, straight forward and in. And now it'll look like that. We're going to go ahead and pull this last pink band forward, go all the way to the bottom, and pull it straight forward. So that's what it should look like, and we're going to go ahead and dig underneath of these gray bands. It can get a little tricky, but you're just going to pull it forward. And again, repeat the same process. So pulling that out, and that one out, then straight up, and straight up, and then in, and in, and then pull this last pink one straight up to itself so that you will connect it to the border and your bracelet, won't fall all the way apart. So I'm going to go ahead and do this last one really quick. Like I said, it's pretty tricky to get underneath of those gray bands, especially when they're so tight. So make sure that you are grabbing the right band and actually going underneath of all of the other ones, the gray bands. And once you've done that, push your bands down, come back to the beginning of your loom, and we are now going to do our last looping sequence, which is the border. So just go underneath of your cap band, underneath of your gray bands, grab the top band, and pull that to itself. Grab this gray band, pull it to itself, it's the black bands. I'm mixing up my grays and my blacks. Pull the black out to itself, the border color, and pull the black border color out to itself. All you're doing is going underneath, grabbing that bottom band, and pulling it straight forward. It's a little tight with the gray bands there, but it's not completely difficult. It was pretty difficult for limited edition bands, but it should be okay if you're careful. Like, don't go yanking on them so hard that they will snap. Just kind of be careful. And when you're looping this, it might look like the grays are going to fall off, but don't worry, they won't. They are caught completely by the black, and I think one of the absolute hardest parts of this bracelet is grabbing this border band from underneath all of those grays, pinks, and other blacks. So make sure that you are grabbing the right band, because if you don't, it could potentially ruin your entire bracelet, and we do not want that. When you're in this peg, make sure that you're only grabbing one band at a time. You're just going to pull that last one up into the center and repeat on the right side. Then grab a finishing band, and you're going to go ahead and stick your hook through, or if you already dropped one there before when we were starting, grab that one, and it's now time to pull this off. I will warn you, be very careful when you're pulling this off. The triangle bands like to stay stuck on there, and so they can potentially get your other band stuck too, and you don't want to snap any of them because then your hard work will be for nothing. But if you're careful, it'll be okay. And if you're using strong band, it should be alright. The pink bands also don't like to pull very much. So this is going to be the back side of your bracelet. If you turn it around, this will be the front side, and mine is pretty dark, but I think it looks pretty good. So you can pull it to the outside, you can pull it straight up, however you prefer. This is what it will look like though when you are finished, and that's going to be it. So thank you for watching. Make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll have my Instagram name in the description box below if you want to check that out. And that's going to be it for today and for this video. I hope to see you next time.